Fnatic.
And obviously
Points
shout
all
out to
shares for the rest of the teams in the quarterfinals. It means winner takes all in the semi-final. That will take them to the semi-final during that 2v2. However, if there is a draw, we would go to a third matchup, which would be 1v1 again.
Well, let's take a look at the goals from the Sporting side of things in their game against AS Roma. And Bruno, we've talked about him quite a lot so far this morning, and quite rightly so as well. The performances this young man has put in, Dan, have been phenomenal.
Yeah, he just didn't look nervous in front of goal. He didn't look nervous in that final third. Very calm. Even defensively, yes, okay, he allowed Dami to get back into the game at times, but very difficult. You're going up against one of the best players in the world in Dami at the moment. He's so in form. I think even Tech said on Friday he thinks Dami's one of the best PlayStation players around. So Bruno really did incredibly well to hold his own and almost came away with a victory, to be honest.
I just want to talk about that quick goal there from Roma's Dami. We were kind of expecting the free kick to be given immediately, but fantastic of an advantage played by the referee and fantastic focus from Dami as well to take that chance once it did fall. But again, young man showing great resolve and not crumbling, having given that goal lead away.
But then at 70 minutes, you'd think maybe I can go really defensive, I can hold on, but this was just individual skill from Dami. Really simple drag back in the end, and there's no way you're going to be able to get in there to stop it. You hope that because it's Mbappe, maybe he won't connect well with it because he only has the 4-star weak foot, but he was able to get the job done, and it takes us into the 2v2. And form is something that is quite difficult for 2v2 for a lot of these teams and a lot of these players, and the reason for that, it's hard to practice Ultimate Team 2v2. It doesn't exist. You have to do it within the same room. Some teams did boot camp. Fnatic, they boot camped with AS Roma, so those are teams who have performed particularly well. Borussia have had a decent form in the 2v2 as well. So Fnatic versus Borussia, where Fnatic have to win. Even though Fnatic looks so good, so free-flowing, Borussia, they have actually showed that they can show up in 2v2, so that's going to be a really interesting
They've got experience themselves, Borussia, in the Bundesliga that they've been playing in themselves, so they've been saying they're used to the 2v2 format, not an Ultimate Team, but still, you know, some of the fundamentals that we were looking at, you know, communication, being able to play with each other, those key aspects that get overlooked in the 1v1 format, they have down, so they're certainly going to be a difficult team to go up against.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at 11's goal now against NASA Esports, and this was a late one for Resende. It was 0-0 for, what, 85 minutes, and I'm sure they were thinking they were going to be sharing the points, but one thing Resende does is he never gives up, and just on the turn, I don't even think Van Dijk was selected there. It just meant he was able to beat the man and get the shot away, and you saw what it meant to him as well. And we heard what it meant to him.
Yeah, that's a very good point. We'd certainly heard it. We're only a booth or so away. You can see how we're standing then. The notable things from these points is the fact that 11s just need a draw to go through. The same with Borussia, all the other games. Fnatic need the win. NASA Esports need the win. All the other games are tied up and pretty much win or lose unless it's a draw, and then we go through that final game. But it's going to be pretty nervy times for all these players right now.
I'm sure it's pretty nervy for some of the watchers as well, because I know there are Twitch drops going out, and I've been told that 15 Team of the Year Frankie de Jongs have been dropped into accounts, so make sure you check your FIFA 20 or check your web app wherever you are and see if you were one of the lucky members who was able to get one of those. But I think we are almost ready to get into our quarterfinal leg number 2. I know that Complexity versus Neo are starting, and you can see they've already got underway. Fnatic versus Borussia also about to start. And we are going to go into Fnatic versus Borussia. As we mentioned, Fnatic have to win this 2v2 matchup to stay alive in the tournament and to send this to a third and final 1v1 match.
Well, if you're only joining us for the first time, welcome along. It's going to be Tom and Tex taking on Jeffrey and Gaucho. And early on, Fnatic here applying the pressure to the German lineup. Fnatic need to win this game to send it to a final game where the pressure will fall onto the shoulders of either Jeffrey for Borussia or Tom from Fnatic to close things out. But first things first, Fnatic need this win.
And I think Fnatic have to just go at Borussia as quick as possible here. Play an attacking formation, try and get in their faces, try and get an early goal. Schmeichel off his line though.
Reminder here that all Borussia need is a draw to see them through. So a goal in this situation would be absolutely huge for them. What a touch that was from R9. Marshalled away though by Frankie de Jong, and that is that Team of the Year foot item that we were just talking about. As I say, dropped into some accounts earlier. If you had your Twitch accounts linked with your EA account, you might be lucky enough to have one of those in your squad right now.
Still very early pressure though from Fnatic. You can see the intent with every single pass, every single run right now.
You can also see those runs being marked, but there's a chance here for R9. Tried to check back onto that left foot, but Van Dijk read it well.
And this is the situation that no one wants to be in. With the format change, the fact we go into the 2v2 after the initial game, if you have to get a win, it's so difficult because we've already seen throughout the tournament 2v2s, it's so tough to break your opposition down. So playing for a draw is something that is entirely possible.
There might be an opportunity here because Kylian Mbappe, after the high press here from Fnatic, has managed to find a bit of space down the line, gets it across to Cristiano Ronaldo. Second chance maybe, but the strength and the power of Patrick Vieira just too much.
Did so well with the drag back as well. You thought surely it was going to be a chance.
Though. And again, Vieira is the man who is saving Borussia's blushes at the moment.
Has been a goal elsewhere though. NASA Esports versus 11s. You can see it in the top right-hand side of your screen. And it's gone to NASA Esports. And Mbappe with the drag back finds Messi with an incredible run behind the back line. And remember, NASA Esports have to get a win in that 2v2, so a perfect start for them.
Back to our feature game then between Fnatic and Borussia Esports. And it's been all Fnatic so far. As Tom and Tex come forward again. Here's Cristiano Ronaldo, tries to twist and turn back. He's found R9!
Penalty!
And he's gone down, and the referee has given a penalty here.
Well, it was just too close, there was too much contact.
It was a late whistle, but it's been given, and it's a chance here for Fnatic. Steps up, saved! Corner for Fnatic. Whipped in towards that front post. Schmeichel will come out and clear the lines, but what a chance that was. And you have to wonder, will Fnatic get a better one?
As the attack just ends up being nothing now, and Borussia get a chance just to calm things down. It was a poor penalty, if I'm honest, fairly central. Not really directed to any dangerous areas within the goal. Here are all four of the quarterfinals. NASA Esports have to get a victory, and they are 1-0 up against 11s. Sporting versus Roma, it's winner takes all over there. Of course, a draw would take us to a third game. The same being said for Complexity versus Neo. And then our feature game at the moment, Fnatic versus Borussia, where Fnatic have to get 3 points to stay alive.
And we can see in the bottom right-hand side of your screen as well, Complexity have just taken the lead over Neo, and that means if it stays how it is, that they will go through to the semi-finals.
Take a look at that goal now as well. I think it was Cristiano Ronaldo in the end. Decent pass and move, and again, it's just being able to beat that man with the manual run from Cristiano Ronaldo. And there's the North American roars. We haven't spoken about Complexity enough. They've performed so well every single round. And now they just need to hold on, and they'll be in the semi-final.
You can see the focus as we go back to our featured game now on all four of these players. And I just want to highlight something very quickly that was mentioned by Eddie, the Fnatic coach, was staying present moment. And we're going to do that right now because the goal has gone in.
Yep, 11s have found an equaliser, and they only have to draw here to go through. Absolutely massive for them. NASA Esports just weren't able to hold on to the lead.
Nice!
But still early days in that game.
Just back to my point I was making, the Fnatic coach saying how important it is to stay and keep present moment focus. Everything that's happened before now becomes irrelevant. Fnatic need to keep that in mind with the penalty miss. They need to create another chance as R9 tries to use the Elastico to get through. And the same can be said for Borussia. They know what they have to do.
There's always going to be the temptation to play defensive, absorb pressure and say, look, we could get a 0-0 result and we go through here, but do you want to try and play that risky game against the likes of Fnatic, who have been the informed team, the team to beat at this tournament? But they have the chance to beat them. They have the chance to be the upset of the tournament here.
Vieira spreads the play out wide here to Sadio Mane. can see Hullet trying to get the tackle away. He does at the second attempt there, Ruud Hullet.
Absorb pressure.
He's going to continue his run, the Dutchman, but speaking of Dutchman,
do you want to
it's going to be Van Dijk, who again just dawdles on the ball a little bit too long there.
The team to beat at this tournament.
Hullet now, again, you can see him scarpering back, trying to get back on the defensive end of things.
One thing that 2v2 adds into the game of FIFA is that you do stay on the ball a little bit longer than you might in a 1v1 because you're looking around and you're looking at where your teammate is and you're thinking, all right, where should I be playing the ball? In 1v1, it all just feels natural because you're used to it. It's all muscle memory, but everything changes in a 2v2 environment. You're suddenly adding a different dynamic, you're adding a different person, trying to almost put them in your brain as well, and it is so difficult to try and change.
All 4 games, you can see them here, and I just want to look at the top left-hand side because there's a free kick here in a very dangerous position for Sporting esports.
You're looking around, you're looking at where your teammate is.
Keep your eyes on that one, it is going to be taken short.
In 1v1,
go into half-time after the game as well.
It's all muscle memory, but everything changes in a 2v2.
Jump into the Sporting versus AS Roma game, just as it comes to its conclusion at the end of the first half as well. Still with possession here. Sporting just as Kante comes in and wins it back here for Roma.
Winner takes all in this matchup. Draw would take us to a third game.
Very dangerous position.
Nothing really from that free kick, though. A little bit disappointing, if I'm honest, considering what we've seen from free kicks, not just in this tournament, but particularly in 2v2 as well.
Jump into the Sporting versus AS Roma game, just as it comes to its conclusion at the end of the still in that situation now. Right down to possession here, takes it all in this game. The draw sends us to that third leg. Kante to find the ball into Messi. Unfortunately, the dots just couldn't be joined up.
Nothing really from that free kick.
Finish off the painting there.
If I'm honest, considering what we've seen from free kicks, not just in this tournament, but
keep possession
as well.
As the scoreline stays at 0-0, we're going to move away though and go back to the second half now. Fnatic versus Borussia Esports.
Yeah, because we have to be watching this. I mean, this is going to be a huge upset if Borussia are able to hold on to a draw and move on to the semi-finals because of that. Thanks to the, well, I guess, unexpected victory from the Gaucho against Tex. A lot of people would have banked on Tex to gain a result, at least get a draw for Fnatic. Now one of these boys on Fnatic has to step up in this 2v2.
Well, there's one thing that Fnatic have in these two players, is the ability to score vital late goals. You think back, Premier League last year, Calvert-Lewin for Tex. Think about the first event that Tom qualified for in FIFA 19 last year, last minute goal from Ruud Hullet. These guys know how to get it done in the last moments if they need to. But this has been phenomenal so far from Borussia Esports, just resolute in defence.
It's just going to be such a nerve-wracking experience because you cannot afford to concede against Borussia here. One goal for Borussia probably just guarantees them into the semi-final because it's going to be near impossible to try and get two in a 2v2 environment against a team who knows they only need a draw. But the breakaway is here for Mane.
Look at the pace of Sadio Mane. Striding away from Patrick Vieira. Mane stops up, feeds the ball into Cristiano Ronaldo, but just a touch on it there from Laurent Blanc. That must feel as good as scoring right now for Borussia.
Just couldn't hold on to it, could he? Made a good run with Cristiano Ronaldo, but there was too much pressure. Even though there's good composure on that item, just couldn't hold on to the ball. But there's been a goal somewhere else between Complexity and Neo. And Neo, of course, had the chance to get the equaliser, and they did with R9. And a draw would send us into a third and final 1v1 matchup where Stokes will take the reins.
Absolutely massive goal for Neo, keeping their dreams alive of moving towards that semi-final.
Too much pressure, even though there's good composure on that item.
A bitter pill to swallow there for Complexity.
There's been a goal somewhere else between
Fnatic
and Neo.
You've got around 30 minutes in game.
Had the chance to get the equaliser
to stay alive.
With R9. Find a goal to keep the lead. It's as simple as that. Unfortunately, in 2v2s, it's never simple.
Bit of a chance here. Ronaldo! Fnatic have equalised. Moving towards that semi-final.
And I say it's never simple, but when it's given to you so easily like that, a massive mistake from Borussia, and Fnatic take full advantage of that.
30 minutes in game.
It was some distance for a strike, but for Cristiano Ronaldo, it doesn't matter. He's got so much shot power. It's as simple as that.
I almost feel like there was a bit of panic in that strike. Having found themselves the opportunity, they didn't want to let it go. Fnatic have equalised. The strike was taken early, and there was enough power and accuracy from Ronaldo to find the back of the net, and it's game on here.
Well, in 1v1, you'd probably be calm, you'd probably be thinking, all right, yeah, I've got this, I can maybe do a pull roll, I can wait. But in 2v2, all that pressure is on you. Your teammate is watching on. They're powerless at that point. There was no one that could move on. No one could make a run for a pass. Instead, it was just that one time, that one chance.
They didn't want to let it go. And now for Borussia, they have to switch that mentality from survival to finding a goal. Otherwise, we are going to a third leg. Where Tom will take on Jeffrey. A reminder of everything that's going on in our quarterfinals. You can see every single game in front of you here. NASA versus 11s. If that stays how it is, 11s will go through. Complexity versus Neo. That one is headed towards a third and deciding leg as well. And the same can be said for Sporting versus
Pressure starting to be amped up by Borussia as well. You can see in the bottom left-hand side of your screen. But Fnatic just scrapping in the back, ensuring as best as they can intercept and cut every single passing lane. With only 15 minutes left, you'd bank on there being a third leg here. But with how this tournament has been, we've had so much late drama, so much late equalisers, and you can't afford to give balls away like that.
Mistakes, things that have led to goals so far in 2v2. And Borussia eSports,
by Borussia as well, you can see in the bottom left-hand.
having had a defensive mentality for the most of this game, have the chance here as Ronaldo has fallen on the edge of the box to maybe steal this game away.
With only 15 minutes left, just to calm everything around for all four of these players here. We've had so much late drama. This is what's happening elsewhere, though. We'll keep you updated on all the goals when they do come in, if they come in. But late drama. Can Borussia find anything from this free kick? A goal would send Fnatic out of the competition.
A huge opportunity as well, within striking range.
But do you trust anyone to strike it? We haven't seen that many direct free kicks scored, and those that were scored have been Fnatic, so you'd like to think they know how to stop them as well. A subtle amount of goalkeeper movement just in the middle of the goal usually covers a decent amount to make it very difficult to actually score direct. From this free kick, a goal would send Fnatic
loaded back into the game now, and Lionel Messi is stood over the ball. You can see the goalkeeper movement there.
Everyone's out of the wall as well. Bodies in the way.
Huge chance here for Borussia eSports. 78 minutes on the clock. Ferland Mendy, of all players, is the man who wanted to see his name up in lights.
Anyone else?
I think you just retreat back to your left-back position and forget about that.
Anyone else? If that was R9, and that's a possibility of going in. Mbappe, possibility of going in. But you had to at least try.
Messi can't collect that ball.
Everyone's out on the wall as well.
I think Fnatic will be a little bit disappointed with that, but Messi now tries to find that ball forward. You can see a little bit of panic, a little bit of
settle.
Nerves starting to settle in here to the game.
I know they want that second goal, they want to just kill this game off, but at the same time, there's only 10 minutes left. One of the things that Tex has always been phenomenal at doing is closing out games. Is just knowing when is the right time to keep the ball and stop pressing. But Borussia run the ball out of play.
This game is now absolutely filled with nervous energy. You can tell that these are mistakes we haven't seen from any of these four players the entirety of the tournament so far. But put yourself in a quarter-final position where you know one goal can change everything, and all of a sudden you're seeing things change.
Complexity versus Neo has just tipped over into added on time, so it looks like we're going to be going to a third leg there unless we see anything drastic from Neo in this attack. But the referee should be blowing his final whistle.
To say that, we balls down the line at the moment, keeping our eye on that one. Will be it. The final whistle has been blown, and as you say, that Complexity versus Neo will be going to a third deciding leg.
That's going to be Joxan versus Stokes, and what a 1v1 matchup. Two incredibly informed players with a very rich history as of late.
But still time in this game to have a winner. Fnatic versus Borussia eSports. 6 minutes of regulation time plus stoppage time for someone to make themselves a hero.
Yeah, and a goal for Borussia basically would be a winner at this point. Even though it'd be a draw, it'd be enough to send them to that semi-final. Fnatic just need to hold on.
Well, Cristiano Ronaldo has been found, but Frankie de Jong has won the ball back, and it looks like the last attack of the game could be going to Fnatic.
It shouldn't be an attack. Realistically, it should be just hold on to the ball.
And the linesman's flag has just gone up. The timing on that pass just a second away
Didn't need to make it.
from releasing Kylian Mbappe.
Didn't have to play the pass, did Fnatic. They seemed too eager to try and get this second goal, to try and break away. Pass the ball around in midfield. Take this to a third leg. Mane regains possession. Massive for Fnatic. Into added on time, just a minute left. All you have to do is pump that ball up, but it's given away to Mendy. Maybe one last chance for Borussia, if they're quick here.
And here come Borussia, the Germans pushing forward. Alexander Arnold will put it out, and for all the drama, for all the excitement, it comes down to that man on your screen, Fnatic Tom, to take on the man on your right, Jeffrey, in a third leg.
Third leg for that one. Fnatic had their backs against the wall, but they were able to survive. Still, 4 minutes left in Sporting versus Roma. The first matchup was 2-2, so if it stays like this, we go to a third leg. Means all 3 of our 4 quarterfinals will be going to a deciding leg.
What a round of games this has been so far. You can almost see the players just living every single touch, every pass, and every potential strike at goal. And here come AS Roma. Mane turns away, and there's a man completely free in the middle. Mane cuts it back into Cruyff. Oh, Schmeichel's forced into a save.
And you could see the AS Roma players rise as the ball rose as well. Still a chance from the corner, though.
Corner then to AS Roma in the 91st minute, last chance. Oh, it sends it in, Ronaldo will clear. Robertson keeps possession. Carlos Alberto, of all players to be there. Into Neymar, gets the ball back, Neymar strikes. And the final whistle will go. And we are going to a third and final leg again.
And Diogo will get his chance in a 1v1, but he'll be going up against the undefeated
now, because he's on the floor with the 2 players.
Yes, here I am with Resende and Ethan. First question to you, Ethan. You scored that all-important goal. How did it feel?
It felt great. I was a little bit lucky with the rebound, but the step over inside was quite nice, so I was happy with that goal.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because it wasn't a match-winning goal, but it was the goal ultimately that won you the game. And Resende, you guys keep going, you keep winning.
this could be the end of the road for Fnatic, but they pulled it back.
We will take a look at the goal as well from Fnatic. The very important goal that actually is sending this to a third tie. And you can see a little bit of a mistake just trying to play that ball out to the right-hand side to Mbappe. But Hullet was there. And it was a great interception just to play it forward. And then that actual shot from CR7, there must have been so much nerves going through both the players' minds there. Just to say at that point, am I shooting? Am I waiting? Am I going for a drag back? But in the end, they get it away.
I'm pretty sure that might have been Tex who actually struck that one as well, just from the celebration. But this is where we stand. You can see 11s are the team who are through to the semi-finals. But talking about all the Fnatic stuff that we just talked about, the team who are holding them up at the moment and are looking to upset them are Borussia Esports. And on the stage right now with Spencer is Gaucho telling us how it's going to be done.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't think we've been talking enough about Borussia. These guys have been doing so well, and none more so than the man to the right of me here, Gaucho, who actually beat Tex. Now, how many times have you played against Tex, and is that a first?
Actually, I think I've warmed up against him 10 times during the season, and I've never managed to beat him. I draw a few times, but I've never beaten him. So, yeah, good feeling to do it today. But, yeah, we have nothing achieved right now. Of course, we need the final game.
Yeah, exactly. You got yourself into that 2v2 with the advantage, but obviously as a Fnatic won that, you've got to do it again now, and it's going to be your teammate Jeffrey going up against Tom. How do you feel about that match?
Both of them are amazing players, but I'm very confident that Jeffrey will win the game and secures the next round.
Now, you were actually the man controlling the goalkeeper in that last match. You saved a penalty. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough because you ended up losing the game, which meant it went to the third match. But how did you feel when you saved the penalty?
Yeah, to be honest, at this time in the game, they were much better than we, and it was good to save it. And after it, we were better in the game, but unfortunately, we made a mistake and lost the game. So now we have the final game.
It's all over to Jeffrey for Borussia. Can they get maybe the biggest scalp of the tournament and knock out Fnatic, or will Fnatic come through? Can't wait to see what happens in this one.
Of course, we'll keep you up to date with that result as it is coming in and every single goal that is scored. But we're going to be focusing here on Sporting versus Roma. And two players, you have to say, yesterday who maybe gave us the most excitable reactions that we saw from the entire tournament.
Yep, the late drama from Sporting, allowing Diogo just to scream across the stage at Man City when they were able to qualify on goal difference. And of course, SpiderKong, undefeated in this tournament so far, 5 wins and 1 draw, really has been a powerhouse and one of the standout individual players for me. But we know what Diogo is capable of, and he's had a decent 1v1 record as well. He's only lost the 1 game. He's got 3 wins and 2 draws as well. So we will see who is going to be able to step up at the right time and who is going to be able to withstand the pressure in this final deciding game. Winner goes through to the semi-finals. Extra time and penalties if we need them.
And Diogo tweeted out yesterday after that huge result, just a little emoji of an ice cube. He's going to need ice in his veins today.
Made me laugh as well, because there was like no coolness whatsoever throughout that entire game. They were down 2-0, they were through and they pushed on, they conceded a third, then they get a goal back. And he's like, yeah, it's cool as ice. Whatever, Diogo, we know how nervous you were, really.
Yeah, it was more flaky than anything, but he got the job done.
And I mean, to be honest, Diogo is known for throwing away leads, known for being nervous. We saw what happened in Bucharest, FUT Champions Cup 1. He threw away a lead against Mike. And a lead is found by Roma as SpiderKong lets one rip from outside the box. And Messi takes the lead.
And Lionel Messi and SpiderKong are becoming synonymous with each other at the moment. Every goal that seems to be finding the back of the net is from the left foot of the Argentine. SpiderKong has been incredible here in Milan.
I would be terrified to be going up against SpiderKong with the form that he has in this tournament, the goals he's been scoring.
Number 10.
We saw this kind of form from him at FUT Champions Cup, stage number 1. That Bucharest tournament I was just talking about that Diogo threw away the lead against Mike. SpiderKong finished as one of the masters there. He finished in the top 4. He really has the potential to win tournaments.
So Roma take the lead. And Sporting find themselves on the back foot. We have 3 games underway here, and just looking at the bottom of our screen, because Complexity have a free kick that will be blocked. But Fnatic versus Borussia Esports underway. No goals to report there. keep you up to date with every single goal and every minute as soon as we have any action for you.
Yeah, very simple for all games as well. No extra differences there. It's just winner takes all.
Spider-Con's coming forward again and again looking for the left foot of Lionel Messi, and you can't blame him at this point.
Messi just seems to be doing everything for AS Roma and Spider-Con. But he needs to keep his focus. He needs to make sure he's defending as well. It's a very early goal, and yes, okay, you can often sit on a lead, but considering that goal came in the 8th minute, you just have to focus here. Don't allow anything to slip. No silly mistakes to allow Sporting and Diogo back into this game.
Free kick here. Spider-Con just bundling his man over. I just wonder if Diogo's got any tricks up his sleeve from this set piece. Instead just opts to play safe, go to Ruud Gullit on the edge of the box and retreat to build again with Zambrotta. What a ball that is though from Zambrotta, and Ronaldo will strike it. Falls back here to R9. Mbappe and Ronaldo in a scrap on the edge of the box, but Roma will come away with the ball.
And I'm wondering whether it's just better for Diogo to be behind, considering the amount of nervousness we've seen from him at previous tournaments. Perhaps just a chance to say, oh look, I've got to go forward now, I've got to attack. He loves playing attacking football anyway. Rather than him taking an early lead and then trying to change his game style to defend that lead, it could benefit him.
R9 Ronaldo showing his strength there, just turning away from his man and getting his body between the ball and the defender. Couldn't make the pass, unfortunately, though. Patrick Vieira and Gullit linking up in midfield once again as Van Dijk spreads the play out wide here for Sporting.
Every single time that Spider-Con has the ball, though, you know you're just going to be under so much pressure defensively, but great work from Diogo stepping in with Gullit. You've got to make sure you win the ball back in a decent area of the pitch so you can transition quickly from defence to attack, but it doesn't quite work out in that particular scenario.
Interesting to see N'Golo Kante, team of the year, central midfield here for Spider-Con. Not a usual starter for a lot of players, but obviously they've seen something that he likes as R9 was twisting and turning, looking to find that run of Ruud Gullit from deep. Defended well again here by Diogo, who just hasn't found his rhythm yet in this first game.
It's very hard to find any sort of rhythm when you go a goal down so early. Because with just 90 minutes, with just the one leg, you already know your back's against the wall and the clock is against you. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place, but that rock is Spider-Con.
Gullit plays it out wide here to Cristiano Ronaldo. Maybe going to look back inside to Gullit. Does find the Dutchman, played over one more here to Mbappe, tries a couple of step-overs, but strong there from Carlos Alberto. Again, Spider-Con just resisting the pressure of Diogo.
Always terrifying when your opponent starts doing step-overs in the box, though, because it's so easy to give away a penalty, but there's been a goal elsewhere. Complexity versus Neo. The North American side who have been so good and of course just need a victory to go through to the semi-finals, take the lead against Neo. Joksan, who had an amazing FIFA 19 season, he's back and he's showing what he's made of in FIFA 20.
As it stands then, Roma will be going through if they keep the score the same. Complexity will be going through. But if Fnatic versus Borussia Esports stays as it is, well, we've got extra time and penalties to look forward to.
But what a story it's been for Complexity. A team that definitely hasn't been spoke about, saying they have the chance to win a tournament. It's all been about Fnatic and Neo and AS Roma, to be honest. But Complexity showing that even though Neo is full of great players, previous world champion, it's Maxi VIP's first ever Championship Sunday, and Complexity at the moment are on their way to a semi-finals, but we're back to Sporting versus AS Roma here, just before the half-time whistle, and a chance maybe for Spider-Con to double his lead.
And for Complexity as well, just to make a point, as the powerhouses of North America as well, obviously Hashtag went over there and might have stole that crown a little bit in the qualification process. Joksan and Maxi VIP, well, they're saying America is ours right now. One game still going, as we can see here. Complexity versus Neo. Let's jump over there. As Complexity are on the attack, but it just kind of filters out. It will be a goal kick here just before half-time.
And Stokes has had an incredible tournament with his 1v1s. Also one of these players that's just been able to find victory after victory and also been able to grind out those draws when needs be. He really has been kind of lifting Gorilla through this tournament at times when Gorilla's slumped down a little bit. In the 2v2, they've looked phenomenal. But it's really been Stokes as the standout individual for me out of the two. But it is a team game.
Apparently there's been a goal line clearance in the Fnatic game as well. We'll bring you that highlight as soon as we possibly can. An interesting point here is Nelson Semedo in a fullback here for Stokes. The headliners, again, just maybe a player that he's comfortable with, knows what he can get out of him.
I mean, I'm okay with it. He does the job. A great through ball to Cristiano Ronaldo, though. That's what his job is on that right-hand side. But for once, Robertson wins that battle.
Here is that goal line clearance then. And it's Tom on the attack here for Fnatic. A little step over, back inside, and Ferland Mendy. You just feel that maybe that was a chance that had to be buried for Fnatic, but we're joining this game live now. Still tied up at 0-0 between Tom and Jeffrey.
And if you didn't do that Footmas Mendy SBC, I bet you're regretting it as this tournament goes on and the defensive ability that he has. We did see him miss an opportunity on goal earlier, but that's not what he's in the team for. As we join now Fnatic and Borussia. Tom versus Jeffrey. Both of these players maybe expecting not to play any 1v1 games in this quarter-final because they weren't the selection for the initial one.
You can see some frustration there from Jeffrey again, and Tom with just a little smile on his face as well. I think he's just trying to stay relaxed in this situation. You can still see all the games going on here in the final and deciding leg. Diego on the attack here in the top of the screen for Sporting as that attack just fizzles out, changes in the Fnatic versus Borussia esports game. And we're going to go back to that one now as we hit the hour mark.
Tom does look really relaxed though. You're quite right, smiles on his face, having a little joke. I think he knows that he has the possibility to win this one here. He's very confident in his own ability. Yesterday when I spoke to him, he was like, the cameras will be on when I score my goals, right?
Well, here comes Tom. R9 trying to step away from Blanc. And Tex at the moment in the background looks like he's an unlocked character in a video game with his hood up. All over the top here from Tom. Will find Mbappe. The Frenchman brings it down, cuts it back to the edge of the box. Cristiano Ronaldo cannot make contact with the ball. It's just taken off of his toe at the last second.
And he probably thought about playing it back to Hullet as well, but are you going to trust Hullet from the edge of the box? He can bang him in here or there, but Cristiano Ronaldo is usually one who gets the job done, does the dirty work. Tom does look very threatening going forward, though. And I'm sure Jeffrey feels slightly under pressure, but Jeffrey's had a good tournament as well. Definitely has the potential to cause the upset here.
And this scoreline is so fragile between the two clubs. One goal here is all it is going to take potentially to see you through to the semi-final. One chance is all that either club need, either player need. When that chance comes, who's going to have ice in their veins?
Could be extra time at this rate.
Borussia step forward now with Jeffrey. Good tackle from De Jong.
Yeah, De Jong's done so well for Tom as well. There's all these differences as central defensive midfielders. Do you want just Vieira and Hullet? Do you want to bring De Bruyne in? Do you play De Jong? Do you play Kante? I just think De Jong is such a good ball-winning midfielder, but then also offers you a lot going forward as well.
Well, there's been a chance in the Sporting versus Roma game, and it's Diego through on goal. Massive chance for Mbappe, and that's going to haunt him.
That's going to haunt our weak foot. Sometimes he just can't put them on target. You want to drive that near post, really, but tried to go across goal with it.
So this is where we stand then. Sporting versus Roma. If it stays as it is, Roma will go through. Fnatic versus Borussia esports is heading towards extra time and potentially penalties, and at the moment Complexity have the advantage. They will go through if the score stays how it is.
Still time left in that complexity game, though. Time ticking away for Sporting and Diogo after a very early 8th-minute goal from Roma. There was almost a chance for Borussia, I saw in the top right-hand corner against Fnatic as well. Tom just trying to play out from the defence. Not much time, though, left for Tom.
He's in behind here. I'm just looking at the top right-hand side of your screen. A big chance, and Schmeichel comes out to make the save. To jump back into that game as soon as we possibly can. Another chance maybe squandered here for Fnatic.
Yeah, when the keeper comes out like that so quickly, you have two decisions. You can try and ball roll it round him, but the angle was really tight. You probably wouldn't have got away with it because of how quickly Schmeichel was off the line. So he tried to wait for as late as possible just to have a runner to come in to be able to cut it back to. Didn't quite work out, but again, nervy moments for both of these players.
A goal here surely would be the winner. As now Borussia eSports and Jeffrey step forward. Mendy will win the corner here for Borussia.
Have to ensure you put players at the front post from what we've seen so far in this tournament.
Hullit's going to be the man to take the corner then. Delivery needs to be good for Borussia eSports. 87 minutes on the clock.
Thank God they took Hullet off the corner. Why would Hullet take it? Get him in the box, get him in the mixer.
Ball in. Van Dijk wins the header. Will be another corner here, and the pressure now building on Fnatic.
And look at Jeffrey turning to the coach as well, asking him, what should we do? Is there anything I should be doing differently? Where should I be putting this one?
Corner delivered. There is a man at the front post, and Van Dijk has to deal with two players and somehow gets it away, but dinked into the box. Ronaldo challenges the header, and finally Hullet will get it free. But Van Dijk wins it again. It's ping pong at the edge of the box, and finally Tom can settle down.
But you say settle, he drills it back to De Jong. He's got one last attack here, one last chance to send this and send Fnatic into the semi-finals.
Oh, what a ball that is as well. Mbappe's going to get there ahead of his man. Mbappe fighting with Alexander-Arnold, but somehow the fullback gets a toe on it. And we're going extra time.
Smiles around from Fnatic. But you can see games still happening elsewhere. Complexity still have the lead. Sporting still a goal down versus AS Roma, but only a few minutes left there. As it stands, AS Roma will be going through to the semi-finals. And there's just been a goal as well!
It's a massive goal! A massive goal! Neo have found an equaliser in the last few moments. Here is that goal. 79 minutes on the clock. De Bruyne, Messi, Hullet, and who else but CR7 to tie it up for Neo.
Stokes has some ice in his veins. We'll move over and see what the end of Sporting versus Roma looks like. As we need a goal from Diogo if he's going to do anything here, but it gets intercepted. And that should be it. That should be Roma going through to the semi-finals. An early goal from Spider Kong as he continues his undefeated record. And there is the final whistle. There is AS Roma going through to the semis. Spider Kong does it again. Sporting are out of the competition.
Well, let's move over to extra time then between Fnatic and Borussia eSports. This one is going the distance.
Well, we've had so much late drama, so much late goals, equalisers, tension. And this game deserves extra time.
Jeffrey versus Tom. Fnatic versus Borussia eSports. Hullet, little bit of space here, but not quite the connection he wanted on the shot. And Edwin van der Sar will gleefully clutch that ball to his chest.
Every goal kick, every pass, it all matters now. You have to take that extra little bit of time for consideration.
What a header that was from Ronaldo to win it. 3v3 situation in the box towards the back post.
Messi's got it.
Alexander-Arnold and Messi cannot bend it around Van Dijk.
It almost fell perfectly for Tom there. Whipped the ball in, he took the chance, he said, I tell you what, maybe I can with this back post header.
Mbappe gets in front of his man. Van Dijk again has been monstrous.
Van Dijk is just so difficult to get around, honestly. Just an absolute tank in defence. If he can get close enough to you, it doesn't matter which player is on the ball, he's going to get shrugged off. Maybe CR7 can battle with him, that's about it.
And now, having survived the pressure, here comes Jeffrey trying to construct an attack of his own. To lift the ball over the top, just allowed Vieira to get back in and win that ball. And now with around 3 minutes until half-time, in extra time, it is Fnatic versus Borussia.
Penalty, chance for team
The chance for Fnatic to go forward once more.
And this isn't the only game in extra time. Complexity versus Neo has just had the final whistle. That's going to extra time as well. Still don't know two of our semi-finalists. The first two, however, 11s were able to qualify earlier.
De Jong gets the ball out wide. R9 collects the ball once more. Cristiano Ronaldo, huge chance for Tom.
It's been pulled back. It's been pulled back for a free kick. Tom can't believe it. But you know what Tom can do? He can score free kicks for Trent Alexander-Arnold.
If you wanted drama, nothing could be more dramatic than that. Tom had a perfect chance to strike on goal, but here goes Alexander-Arnold, and he's got to put that out of his mind.
He just couldn't get the angle right, and it's difficult with the analog stick as it is. But when you're nervous and when your thumbs are shaking, it's so difficult to get that rescue in the right place.
The referee's had an absolute shocker there, I have to say. Tom with a huge chance, and Borussia let off the hook. But we're in extra time, as you can see, on the right-hand side, between Complexity Gaming and Neo as well.
So 11s are through. AS Roma are also through. That's two of our semi-finalists. But these four teams still battling out for those spots. Penalties are available if required.
We'll jump over to the Complexity game just as the changes are being made at half-time between Fnatic and Borussia Esports, and here comes Tom Stokes. Tries to thread the ball through, and it's going to be Joksan who can pick up possession now.
Stokes, who really showed what he was made of at the end of the FIFA 19 season, the Xbox playoff champion against Joksan, who showed what he was made of at the start of the FIFA 19 season, the PS4 Continental champion and the PS4 winner at the First Foot Champions Cup. Absolute giants of the FIFA scene going at it at the moment.
There's a ball around the corner here from Joksan to the bottom. Just on the right-hand side of your screen, he's going to cut the ball back. A huge chance! And Complexity take the lead once more. Complexity are going through if it stays how it is.
And there was just so much room as well there. You could see Stokes was desperately trying to shift all the defenders across to cover every single angle, but just couldn't stop that shot from R9. But what a chance it is for Complexity to get to the semis. But there's still work to do in Fnatic versus Borussia.
And there's a chance here for Tom as well. Look at the space here for Mbappe. Lionel Messi. Mbappe! What a save from Schmeichel.
When you say who are you going to have in goal, is it going to be Schmeichel? Is it going to be Alisson? Are you going to have Van der Sar? Or Schmeichel has saved Borussia again there.
Oh,
and Tom just can't break through.
Has had absolutely everything but a goal.
I don't want to say penalties just yet, but Fnatic Tom does have a good penalty history.
So we're into the last moments then. And Jeffrey, who has been holding on a little bit in this game, you have to say, now has the chance to go forward and maybe steal it away, but Alexander-Arnold wins it for Fnatic.
Tom has a decision here. Do you go for the final attack, just spread the ball, kill this game off here and now and say, look, I either win with this attack or we're going to penalties?
120 minutes on the clock. Gives the ball away. I don't know if there's going to be enough time for another attack. We are going to the spot. Both players just taking a moment to settle the nerves. Meanwhile, you can see Complexity still holding on over Neo. There's still another half of extra time to go there. But back to our main game. Lionel Messi steps up for Tom and Fnatic, and he puts the first penalty away. Now time for Borussia to respond. Jeffrey with Sadio Mane. Steps up, saved by Tom!
Tom has such a good penalty history. He can go 2 up here, but saved again. Jeffrey responds, but needs to score. Tom will use the strategy of going one way and diving the other, or is he going to try a double bluff? Neymar steps up, sends it down the middle, and we're tied up 1-1.
All tied up then. R9 here for Fnatic, goes bottom left and puts it away. Tom takes the lead. And now Jeffrey has to answer back. Cristiano Ronaldo puts it away, bottom right.
A spot in the semi-final on the cards as Vieira, a slow run up, and it does just go left, and Fnatic take the lead again. Can Borussia continue to keep up? Can we see the equaliser from Jeffrey? It's R9, he scored so many goals, and that one's easy. 3-3.
Sudden death then. Frankie de Jong has to score, puts it away, and now Tom has the chance, if he saves this penalty, to put Fnatic in to the semi-finals. He's missed the target! He's missed the target!
Come on! Get in there! Come on!
Heartbreak for Borussia! Ecstasy for Fnatic! And Tom gets the job done!
He's done it again in a penalty shootout. Hullet strikes the ball wide.
Absolute
Such
heartbreak.
a painful way to be eliminated from the competition.
Jesus, man.
But you have to take your hats off to both Jeffrey and Gaucho. What a performance from Borussia Esports to take it all the way, to take it right down to sudden death on penalties.
But we still have another quarter-final on the go. And we're into the dying moments of Complexity versus Neo. And the ball is in the corner. Neo need to win the ball back. They're not going to. It's going to be Complexity. They're through to the semi-final. The North American Giants knock Neo out.
Amazing stuff from Joxan and Maxi VIP. They will go through. Neo, unfortunately, will fall out of the competition. A hell of a run from Stokes and Gorilla. But Joxan and Maxi VIP, somewhat of an underdog story. Stay alive in the tournament and keep their run going. Here we go, Dan. This is how things are looking.
These are our semi-finalists then. 11s beat NASA Esports across 2 legs. Fnatic get their spot in the semi-finals after a penalty shootout versus Borussia. AS Roma take down Sporting across 3 legs, and then Complexity, our last semi-finalist, the North Americans who managed to beat Neo. All of the drama, all of the tension. This is why I blooming love the eClub World Cup.
And the beautiful thing is, ladies and gents, that was just the quarterfinals. We have the semi-finals and the finals still to come. And speaking of the semi-finals, we're going to be back pretty soon to bring you all of that action. But I mean, Dan, what an incredible set of matches we just had.
I mean,
unbelievable.
That penalty shootout. So what I mean by I say Tom has a good history with penalty shootouts. He beat #Harry. Of course, teammates Tom, #Tom on loan at Fnatic. Harry taught him how to take a penalty. Tom didn't know just a tournament ago. He didn't know how to take penalties. He was rubbish. But then Harry taught him. He then beat Harry in a penalty shootout, and now he's just won yet another one here at the eClub World Cup. They struggled in the E-Nations, did Tom and Tex. They had an amazing group stage, and then they got into the knockouts and they went out. It looks like they're here and they're fighting here at this tournament at eClub.
I mean, it's both players stepping up at different times, isn't it? And it's unbelievable to see. We should talk about some of the other teams that have gone through as well. I mean, I just want to say, Borussia, I feel for you. To go out in that kind of way is absolutely heartbreaking. And I do feel for Jeffrey, and I just want to highlight what a performance that they have had. You know, an amazing run. But let's have a quick look at the draw and talk about some of those other teams that have managed to go through. 11's getting it done in that third leg. Amazing stuff from Resende and Ethan. Incredible stuff. And their reward here is a semi-final matchup with Fnatic. AS Roma Esports, Spider Kong still the only unbeaten player in the entire tournament. Got it done again. And Joxan for Complexity Gaming got the win in extra time. But those semi-finals, Dan, are still to come. We'll be back in around 30 minutes or so to bring you all of the action. What a morning it's been. We'll see you very soon.